Okay, good morning everyone, and this is Tuesday. Wow, Thanksgiving is almost here. My favorite holiday and my favorite time of year. Not that we should just be saying thanks one time a year, but you know, some people really wait for Thanksgiving to give thanks for everything they've had for that year. So you have to respect that. That's just the way it is. Well, we see what's going on. Today is Tuesday, then tomorrow is Wednesday, then Thursday is the day we eat too much. Why do we eat so much on Thanksgiving Day? That's a good question. But anyway, before we get to Thanksgiving, I'm going to start off by talking about the new planes that I gather were made by Boeing. But, newsflash, they can't fly in a storm? I thought that was quite funny when I heard that yesterday. So, you know, if there's a storm, you can't use that plane or you can't fly that plane. Why did you make the plane? You can have a storm when you're in the plane in the sky above 10,000 feet. So what do you do then? I am truly curious about this story, and I noticed they did not, you know, dwell on it because I guess they don't want us to get scared. So if you're flying, just kind of find out, is this the new plane that can fly in a storm? That would be interesting to find out, I think. Alrighty. Okay, so the new planes that just can't fly in a storm. What about that? Not understanding that at all. Anyway, we see that there was a hoax at Yale University yesterday. There was a call from a phone booth that there's a guy with a gun in the campus and he's going to be killing people. Well, I guess after they checked, it seemed like it was a hoax. But also, good thing, most of the students at Yale already left for Thanksgiving break. So there would be people there, but not as many. That would create a major Sandy Hook kind of scene. So that was a hoax. Who does that? What crazy mind would do something like that? Call to say that to the police or to whomever, just to get, you know, they should truly find that person that made that phone call and lock them up. Do people have anything better to do, knocking out people and calling it a knockout game while people are dying from that knockout, you know, fist in the face? I'm not quite understanding what is going on in the United States of America. I think people have just lost their minds. So yes, we see that there's research done for a telepathic computer, a computer that can actually read your mind. Now, we need that computer to read a lot of people's minds, it seems. Because maybe if Adam from the Sandy Hook shooting massacre, maybe someone read his mind, they could have known what was going on with him. Before we get to that story, because that story is truly amazing now that the report is out. Because we're actually seeing behind the scenes in the house. Wow. And then there seems to be another hoax in New Jersey. I don't know if you remember, a couple months ago there was this gay person in a restaurant who was a waitress who claimed that the person refused to tip them and wrote on the receipt that I did not tip you because I don't agree with your lifestyle. And when I saw this story, I thought, that sounds a little weird. Why would I take that time to write that on the receipt? So the family is now speaking out and saying, lie, hoax, and also producing their own receipt that doesn't look anything like the receipt that the waitress showed, and all the people who poured their hearts out to the waitress. So it's really incredible to see what people do to get their moment of fame. I'm simply chalking it up to that because I think the guy Adam, who shot all those kids and teachers and staff members in Sandy Hook in Connecticut, I think he just wanted to be famous, like the video games of the people he was watching. We'll get to that. So, the young man in San Francisco yesterday that rudely interrupted the president, his name is Yuhan. He's from South Korea. Mr. Lujan, it's actually a privilege for you to be invited to go to something that the president is speaking at in San Francisco or anywhere for that matter. And the way to address the president is not that way. You could see the frustration on President Obama's face, but the guy that he is, this nice guy that he is. Remember, someone tried that with the First Lady, and the First Lady just stopped speaking, left the mic, and left the podium. But you see, President Obama is more calm and a little more tolerant, I think. Because I would have done just what the First Lady did. But the president, and he's had this more than once, and he just engages the person. And you truly have to give him credit for being so tolerant, just the way he is with the Republicans. And that young man, even though he's now coming out, yes, maybe he just wanted his face on television on CNN, he's now saying, oh, that was the only avenue he could get to the president. Maybe true, yes. But my golly, he started it, and then there were some other hecklers going, and President Obama, I give you the prize for being the most tolerant guy on this planet. Because yesterday it was just off the chain, rude and out of place. Because, you know, Lou had, obviously he set off a chain reaction because someone, once he started talking, then someone else, I guess, you know, because just the way it is when something is wrong or bothering people, it takes one person to start the chain of talking and then everybody else follows. And the president stopped them from trying to get him out the room. Congratulations, President Barack Obama. You must be the most tolerant guy on the planet. Seriously. Your mother must have taught you well to have patience. Because personally, I think that was just rude. Yes, the young man is saying that that was the only way to say that, you know, President Obama has the power to stop the deportations. Why should he stop the deportation? If people came here illegally and need to be deported, why should the president stop that? My question to you. There are many more things that the president needs to be involved with than trying to stop your parents' or your friends' deportation. If people came to this country illegally and they're part of the process of being deported, why shouldn't they be deported? That's my question for you today. Is there a reason why they should get special treatment even though they broke the law, just like Trey Radel in Florida, the congressman, Republican congressman who decided to break the law and buy cocaine from an undercover cop and then just take a leave of absence instead of resigning from his post? The same post that makes laws He's breaking the law, but he can do what he want to do because he's an elected official. When people break the law, there has to be consequences. I'm actually agreeing with the Republicans. Yeah, but seriously, when you break the law, you should suffer the consequences, but the Republicans are not forthcoming when it comes to their own people. And yes, continuing in the vein with President Barack Obama, how many things does President Obama have to do and prove and do right based on his campaign rhetoric, what he said he was going to do, and he's done them? When will he ever get any credit from Republicans in this country? Ever, ever, ever. When will he get any? Now the deal with Iran is creating a crazy set of talk with these Republicans. Maybe it was just a deal to make a deal. Just to make a deal, you did it. And then there are those who said, oh, he did it to distract us from talking about the Affordable Care Act. And they say Obamacare. But in my mind, I'm thinking, you're a member of Congress, like Eric Cantor, who spoke, I heard him, and several other people. Tweets were sent out. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys are elected officials in the House of Representatives. Do they truly believe that the president could call up Secretary of State Kerry and say, get this deal done now because I want this health care thing off the table? Off the media focus? Is that the way they believe in their true hearts that foreign policy works? Didn't President Obama talk about Iran even when he was running for president, that he would choose the road of diplomacy instead of war, which seems to be the way that the Republicans would like to go, to send our young men and women to get killed? For what? Can we give the president some credit for what he's done? It doesn't seem like we can. But isn't that an unfair way to be? Just against, block, 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 no, 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 and I have no alternative? So yes, you know, the Republicans are going to try to push those extra sanctions that they were working on with some support of some Democrats. We'll see how that plays out. This is a 6-month deal. And yeah, Netanyahu, I'm sure Netanyahu is just giving a, he's just posturing, in my opinion, because I'm sure behind the scenes, there's some different things being said. Because they think we're stupid. And Saudi Arabia, who should be upset and who is and was upset with the whole deal, they came out and said this is the better way to go instead of war. So what is wrong with Netanyahu? Oh, he's sending his delegation to Washington to straighten this thing out. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Why is it that we always want to go the route of vengeance and, violence and do this thing the rough way? It's just amazing to me. Isn't it so much easier to pursue peace and diplomacy? Even if you can just do it for 6 months, that's saving 6 months of our brothers and sisters and our friends, husbands and wives going to get killed. Because don't you think that Iran is just sitting there waiting for you to come and attack them and they will do nothing? Absolutely not. Okay, trust but verify. Give Rouhani a chance. Why are Republicans coming out to the microphone and talking this way? Shouldn't we be united in our foreign policy? Remember those words? Oh, one thing America does not do is they go against each other with foreign policy. Oh no. But because the black guys in the White House, they have broken that promise. So what's next? Can the president do no right for the Republican Party, the people in Congress, the Tea Partiers? Or they just have blinders of hate on, that they can't see anything through the forest of the tree, or the forest that they've created in their minds? They can't see anything through that? Amazing to me. Totally amazing to me. But anyway, we're going to take a little break and come back right now as we continue. This is the Diana Wright Show live. We welcome you from around the world and in the United States, and we thank you so much for joining us today as we take a break and come back to you in just a slither of a moment. Back in a moment. Hello, everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Okay, we're back, and this is a Diana Wright Show live online. We do this every Monday through Friday. This week, of course, is a short week because Thanksgiving is Thursday, and there'll be no show on Friday, obviously. We can come and show you how I'm cooking my turkey. Maybe I'll just do that. Take the camera in the kitchen and show you how I season my turkey. My turkey has been seasoned since Sunday. Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. Okay? Seasoned since Sunday. So if it's not tasting good on Thursday, then I don't know what the problem is. But anyway, it's Thanksgiving is just a happy time. Christmas is a happy time too, but I'm not too much into that Christmas thing because I think it's just too commercialized. Everybody believes they have to buy a gift for this person, a gift for that person, even if they can't afford it. They go out and they rack up their credit card bill, and then in January they're depressed and they can't pay their bills. So I don't like that route, okay? But celebrating the holiday is a good thing. And celebrating New Year's Eve, getting into the new year, because sometimes you just want to shake off the year that was and get into a new space and hope that things will be better and brighter for you. I'm truly hoping that when the new year comes, and even during the Christmas season and the Thanksgiving season, that the Republicans can find it in their heart to be at least congratulatory in one thing to the president. Okay, good job, Mr. President. Oh my God. Can these people live with themselves to do what they're doing? They just want to destroy the guy at any cost. And my golly, he looks tough and he is patient, but yesterday I could see initially the frustration when he was trying to speak and the young man, Mr. Liu, was trying to talk over him. And then I guess his divine spirit just kicked in and said, no, turn this into a positive by turning around and speaking to the young man. And he did. It stopped and he had a chance to explain what they need to do. They need to lobby Congress. Because, ladies and gentlemen, despite what you think, the President of the United States, whether it's Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, whomever, they cannot make the laws of the country. The laws have to be made through Congress. And something like immigration is one of those things. So I don't know what people believe. I think they think that the president can just wave his pen and say, sign this, and, you know, it's done. It doesn't work like that. That's the reason you have Congress and you have the Senate. And the reason the forefathers, which they didn't anticipate that that the Republicans would be so mean. They just didn't anticipate that one party could be so obstructive. But they designed it this way so the president does not have ultimate power. Like in some countries, the president can do anything they want to do, like in Venezuela. And those places, president can just go do things. So people, please, wake up your brain, engage your brain, start thinking for yourself, and stop listening to Fox News and the talking points, because listening to what they said, and remember now, I'm seeing this when it's being run on another network. The things they were saying, like, oh, Mr. Busey, he wanted the president just did this to get health care off the table. Does he know how foreign policy is? Foreign policy is not a thing that you just get up overnight and say, boom, do this. Oh, let's go kill some people over there. It's planning. It's strategic planning. It's negotiation, unlike the fact that the Congress does not know how to negotiate. This is being called the Do-Nothing Congress. If you are a part of that body, aren't you embarrassed to know that you are the Do-Nothing Congress with a 9% approval rating? It may be lower now. Last week it was 9. It could be 6 right now while I'm talking. Seriously. So people, you need to understand that the president does not have carte blanche that he can just go in and change and do this. I'm sure if he could, he would. Like what they're doing right now, they're taking the Affordable Care Act to the media locally in the states that are running properly. The states where the governors were not so political and not thinking about their constituents and the people of their state, so they took the Medicaid expansion and they set up their own exchange, which is how the program was designed to work. Why can't we understand that? And if you're doing something and 36 people from 36 states are blocking it, what do you think is going to happen? And they're doing it not because they want to help their people. They're doing it because they want to stick it to the president. In the meantime, they have all these sick people in Dallas, in Texas, period, and other states who need the Affordable Care Act, who can't get it because the governor said so? The legislature and the governor said so? It's not a good thing. Politics should not be run based on your feelings as an elected official. Politics should be run with the mind of the people. Taking care of the people's business is how it should be done. Wow. I was supposed to have a guest calling me this morning, but I guess Mr. Sean Marvelous Morris decided not to call. So, anyway, his Expectations event, which is all-inclusive, will take place this Saturday. So, okay, keep moving. Oh, wow. So, young people, when you're invited to go to an event that the president is speaking at, find another way to get your point across instead of interrupting. Maybe that young man could have just waited until the president finished his speech and then say, Mr. President, you forgot to mention this, or something like that. I think that would be more appropriate. Wait until he gives his speech, and he said this God bless America thing. And just kind of get your word in. But my golly, you can't do it at the gentleman. As soon as he started speaking, you're there, boom. Very rude, Mr. Zhu Hong. Okay. We're moving right along now to, it's almost a year since that massacre in Connecticut, Sandy Hook Elementary. Adam, the young man, who, I'm sorry to say, just looking at his photographs, he looks scary. Now, I'm going to just run through a few things here because I do believe that parents in this country are losing their grip on their children. They're allowing their children to run their house, which is not going to happen in my house. A person who is your child, who you birth, especially mothers, where you bore the pain for them to come out to earth through your vajayjay, they should not take over your household. They should not be running your household. Unless you are dying or something and they are taken over and take care of their brothers and sisters and whatever. That's a different story. But when the report came out yesterday and I'm listening to all the things that this young man did, he's 20 years old. He obviously had a mental problem for a while. It could not have been a year ago. And I thought to myself, okay, he spent hours watching violent video games. Now, when I heard that, I thought to myself, okay, I have a mentally ill child. I know he's disturbed. Where does he get the money to buy those video games? Because those video games, as far as I know, are quite expensive. So where is Adam getting the money to feed his obsession with video games, the violent ones, real violent ones? Okay. And Adam, based on the report, was a very focused young man, a man who was able to do his research about various school shootings around the country. He had them, printed out and documented, and he studied them and all of that. Okay. He was obsessed about changing his clothes several times a day. He was obsessed about the way his food was placed on the plate that he eats from. He did not like to be touched or did not want to be touched. So the strangest part is the windows being covered and taped up with black garbage bags, no doubt. He communicated with his mother by email. Huh? He's in the same house. He communicates with her by email. No one could enter his room, including his mother, even to clean it. So can you imagine the stench in that room? The house is filled with legal guns owned by his mother. We're told that before this happened, his mother was away for a week or so, and she was thinking of selling the house and moving. Now, if Adam has a room set up with all these things, and his mom decides that she wants to move, I could see some friction. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but my mind really works. My imagination is actually wild. So I'm imagining now that he believes she's going to move, and I have to go undo all this tape from my windows and all my research and all my video games and my whole territory will be disturbed. So I'm just trying to read what he's thinking. But my next problem, and my major problem with all of this, why was his mother so accommodating of him staying in a room that's locked all the time? She's not allowed in, she doesn't know what's going on, and she allows this to continue to happen? That truly, truly bugs me. And as a parent, and I'm speaking to you parents, and you know there's a reason why children should not have children. Because I'm talking to someone yesterday and I'm hearing about a story of people who I know, and two young people who had a baby decided to put the baby in the stroller while he covers the baby, 6 months old, with a blanket, while he falls asleep and leaves the 6-month-old, and the 6-month-old slides down and dies by suffocation. And I'm truly one of those people. I'm truly against teenage pregnancy, and that's the reason why I don't know why the Republicans are so obsessed with these young people having these babies, when we really should be focused on trying to teach these young women, young girls, to love who they are. Because if you love yourself, you see, and you're so full of self-confidence and self-esteem, you're not going to let any boy just come and violate you and have sex with you and then you get pregnant and all of that stuff. Believe me, you won't. And if you do get pregnant, you don't want the government telling you that you can't have an abortion. Yes, we don't want to be promoting abortions. But if a young woman decides that she did wrong and she wants to do this, it should be her decision, along with the person who impregnated her, and her parents should have a say in it, especially if she's under 18. So, some of us, lots of us, might end up being single parents by various reasons, whether divorce, whether you just chose to be single and have a child, whether by death, whatever it is. Some of us might just end up to be single parents. But as a single parent, you cannot allow your child to take over your house, because one, a lot of mothers feel guilty because the father left or the divorce happened, and they're trying to protect the child and giving them the opportunity to do anything they want to do because I feel so bad because his dad is not around, and that kind of thing, which I really think is just crap. Because a young teenager, even though they're so affected when their parents get a divorce, a conversation should be had. And if you can afford to have therapy, then you have therapy. But that young person should understand that they're not going to take over the household because they're hurting. And I've seen just about too much of that on Dr. Phil, on television, everywhere it happens. So, the young person is brooding, so they decide to start behaving like they're maniacs, fighting their parents and running away and taking drugs and making all kinds of excuses. So we're going to take a break and come back in just a moment. Hello everyone, this is a season of giving, and I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence, written by yours truly, Diana Wright. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift, as the gifting season begins to heat up. I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much. And be the proud person to give a gift of the book, Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website, DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Okay, we're back, and this is the Diana Wright Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. We welcome you from around the world and in the United States. It is Thanksgiving week, and what a week it is. Lots of news happening, even though it's Thanksgiving week. So we just continue talking about Adam, the Sandy Hook massacre, all those kids, innocent children who did this guy nothing, and they just died. And my question to you is, the mother of Adam, what was her part in this? I understand she must have been a very lonely person, wondering what to do for her son. But couldn't she call in for help, and have him put in a home where he would be in a more secure place, that he cannot just kill her and walk out with guns and go kill tons of people? That is my question. What could have been done? Is it that if we have a child who is disabled or mentally ill, we're ashamed, so we keep them locked up in their little space that they keep us out of just to appease them? As adults, should we be doing that? Is that the right thing to do? It cannot be the right thing to do. Because the fact is that if you have a child in a room, well, first of all, in my house, no room door can be closed. So that's just policy from day one. No one locks any doors here. No time, okay? Not even in an angry moment. No. No doors locked. Because parents, if a child has their room door locked all the time and you cannot get in even to get it cleaned, something is wrong with that picture. And we're not here to judge the dead because she is dead. But we are here to appeal. I would like to appeal to all the parents out there. If you have a teenager who's normal, without any mental illness, and you have a teenager with mental illness, that teenager should not be in any room locked up. You cannot get in. That is just unacceptable. And no parent should be putting up with that. I don't care if the child lost their dad in an accident and they died, or you got a divorce, or you just happen to have had them by yourself. Because it seems that way sometimes, right? Because the single parents just always seem to be single mothers. Yeah, you have some single fathers who are taking care of the children, but majority are single women with kids who they did not produce by themselves. So I truly ask parents to think about this today. Why would you allow a child to stay in a room locked up? Well, I don't know if she knew that he had the garbage bags over the window taped up with masking tape. But does she go outside, and can you see from outside what the windows look like inside? This is just a thing that is so puzzling to me. that I truly cannot understand it. I don't understand because I could not. When I grew up, in my mother's house, there was no locked doors anywhere. I could not go lock my bedroom door and stay in there and act as if I'm an adult and she can't come in. Not happening. And there were no loud voices or harsh words. It was just known that you just can't do that. In my grandmother's house, as small as it was, no one could do that either. So I simply ask you parents, why are you so full of shame that you would allow a mentally ill child that you know is mentally ill to be locked up in a room and you can't even go into that room so that that child could sit down and plot, because he did. He plotted out all of this based on his research and what he thought could happen and what could not happen and all that good stuff. He did it. He planned it. He was focused. We'll be back in a moment. Hello everyone. I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show, sponsor the Diana Wright Show, or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. Hello to all my viewers. How are you? This is Diana Wright introducing you to my new book, Deadly Negligence, a True Story. It chronicles an astounding account of the magic of a mother's love, the power of divine miracles, and of course, Deadly Negligence will give you hope and inspiration, helping you get through anything that life throws your way. Get your copy today on Amazon.com. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful, blessed day. Okay, we are back, and I'm being told that people don't actually buy a lot of books for Christmas gifts, but you should. You should certainly be buying mine. Anyway, that is my daughter on the front of the book. A lot of people think it's someone else that I'm writing about, but it's not. It's my daughter that's on the front of that book, where she came from to where she is today. And all that happened because of negligence by a nurse who probably wanted to go to sleep at night. Okay? So you will, get something out of it, I promise you. You could not read that book and be unaffected. Seriously? Or learn something? Whatever it is that you might learn. So let's go back for a minute to Adam. Just for a minute. And just plead. I'm pleading. I'm begging parents, do not allow your teenagers to take over your house and take over your life because they're sad about something. Get the help that your teenager need. It's not a shame to have a child that's mentally ill. You didn't cause it. You didn't do it. So mothers out there, take the shame away. There's some countries like Jamaica who they lock their retarded kids in the house and no one knows they're there. Until a white woman from, I think it was Connecticut, who went there and exposed the whole thing. And bringing in things like horse therapy and that kind of stuff to Jamaica. Don't be one of those parents, please. And, parents, please. Children are not supposed to be going into any room and locking the door. So you can't go in and see what's going on in there. They're not supposed to have that privilege. I'm sorry. I don't care how old they are, as long as they live in your house. If they're 25, they're 30, they're 40, you should be able to have access to that room, to go into that room and at least clean it. My golly, can you imagine the stench from that room? Oh. Not so good news with the storms that are taking place. Preventing people from getting to the turkey on Thursday? Seriously. The storm, that's all we're hearing about is a storm. But you see, the mighty one, God, can just turn it around and everyone will get to Thanksgiving. So if you don't get to your Thanksgiving, what do you plan to do? Are you going to go back home and try to fix your own turkey? Are you going to get in your car and drive to your destination, which a lot of people can't because it's too far? And I gather that the roads are just as treacherous, even if you're going from Florida to Georgia. Rain and sleet and all kind of things going on with the weather. The weather is just crazy right now. So what will you do if you can't get to your turkey? Your turkey Thanksgiving dinner. What are you going to do? I feel bad for those of you who are going to be sleeping in the airport. Seriously. So my advice to you is just call ahead before you get to the airport and see if your flight is actually gotta go. They're claiming that there will not be a lot and lots and lots of cancellations, but there will be lots and lots of delays. So maybe next year you should leave like Monday to get to where you're going for Thursday instead of the night before, the 2 days before. I'm not so sure, because you never know what God has planned for the weather. Also, Black Friday. I talked about that, and I wondered why people are willing to put themselves in harm's way to get trampled and sometimes killed just to get 50% off. Well, now we know. People are doing it just for the fun of it? Wow. Even the knockout game, do you know that those kids are doing it just for the fun of it? I have a very important story here about preventing Alzheimer's. And you might want to just write down some of these things because it's truly, truly important. Because mountains of research has revealed that simple things you do every day might cut your odds of losing your mind to Alzheimer's. In search of scientific ways to delay and outlive Alzheimer's and other dementias. The person tracked down thousands of studies and interviewed dozens of experts. The results is in a new book called 100 Simple Things You Can Do to Prevent Alzheimer's and Age-Related Memory Loss. Okay. Here are 10 strategies that the person found surprising. Because when I read them, I was surprised too. I'm going, this will help you to prevent dementia, Alzheimer's? Okay. Memory loss? Lots of us lose our memories. That's the reason you have to keep your mind active. Whatever you do, you must do something. You can't just sit and watch TV. Yeah, you learn a lot from TV, but it depends on what you're watching on TV to learn. Some things you're not learning anything, but some things, yes, you do learn. Have coffee. Really? In an amazing flip-flop, coffee is the new brain tonic. A large European study showed that drinking 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day in midlife cut Alzheimer's risk by 65% in late life? The University of South Florida researcher Gary, what's his name now? Arendash, credits caffeine. He says it reduces dementia causing amyloid in animal brains. And this is something that always bothers me. Why do they do these testings on animals instead of humans? I need to ask someone that. Maybe Dad knows. If he joins me tomorrow, I'll find out. On Wellness Wednesday. Others credit coffee's antioxidants. So drink up, Arendash advises, unless your doctor says you shouldn't. Now, when I see things like this, I wonder, are the coffee people behind this to get us to buy some more coffee? Well, I don't drink coffee. The only coffee I drink, and it would be once every 5 years or so, is Blue Mountain coffee from Jamaica. And because I have to drink it with condensed milk, which I'm told is fattening, so I don't bother, okay? But that's the only coffee. I think it just has a pleasant, fantastic taste. The next thing here we should do is floss our teeth. I do that every night, and I try to do it for my daughter every night also, and I'm encouraging you to do so. It is important, but I didn't know it had anything to do with dementia, or it can help you with dementia. Oddly, the health of your teeth and gums can help predict dementia. So if you have bad gums and bad teeth, whoa, you're in trouble. University of Southern California research found that having periodontal disease before age 35 quadrupled the odds of dementia years later. Wow. Young people, you need to brush your teeth and floss. Don't try to go rinse your mouth out in the mornings and go to school without brushing your teeth. Lots of young people do those tricky things, You gotta be on top of them. Okay. Older people with tooth and gum disease score lower on memory and cognition tests. Other studies show that. Experts speculate that inflammation in diseased mouths migrates to the brain. Who knew? Okay, this one just kind of threw me off. You need to be a Googler. Well, if that's the case, I'll be never having dementia because I'm a Googler. I'm a flosser, yes, all of that good stuff. Doing an online search can stimulate your aging brain even more than reading a book, says UCLA's Gary Small, who used brain MRIs to prove it. The biggest surprise, novice internet surfers, novel internet surfers. So I'm going to try to get my mom to surf the internet when I see her this holiday. Ages 55 to 78 activated key memory and learning centers in the brain after only a week of web surfing for an hour a day. Okay, I'm calling my mother as I get off this show. You got to get online on your phone. Search something, anything, I don't care what it is. So the next one is grow new brain cells? Impossible, scientists used to say. Now it's believed that thousands of brain cells are born daily. I do believe that. Along with some prayer. Pray to God that your brain stays and you're blessed with your internal and external youth like Sarah, so you could reproduce in your older years. The trick is to keep the newborns alive. What works? Aerobic exercise, such as a brisk 30-minute walk every day. Strenuous mental activity, eating salmon and other fatty fish, and avoiding obesity, chronic stress. Oh my God, sleep deprivation. Yeah, I have that problem. And I think lots of women have that problem because we're thinking too much. Heavy drinking and vitamin B deficiency. The next one will shock you. Drink apple juice. Drink apple juice? Well, I like only the fresh apple juice when I juice it from my juice extractor. And it's a little time consuming, but that's the only apple juice I drink. Drink apple juice. Apple juice can push production of the memory chemical. It's called acetylcholine? Yes. I want to spell that for you. You need to write that down. acetylcholine. That's the new popular Alzheimer's drug, Aricept. That one works, they say. And that is said by Thomas Shea, the PhD of the University of Massachusetts. So if you have someone who have dementia, Aricept is working? I don't know. I have a friend that has a parent with dementia, and they don't seem to be able to find anything that works. He was surprised that old mice given apple juice did better on learning and memory tests than mice that received water. A dose for humans, listen up now, 16 ounces or 2 to 3 apples a day. 3 apples a day or 16 ounces of apple juice per day. I think the 16 ounces is easier because trying to eat 3 apples a day, I don't know how you're going to handle that. I can do 1. Protect your head. A blow to the head, yes, parents especially, you should protect your children's head from those sports that they're doing. Even mild ones early in life increase odds of dementia years later. So if those young people are getting concussions and stuff, playing football and all those other sports, that could be dangerous. Pro football players have 19 times the typical rate of memory-related diseases. Alzheimer's is 4 times more common in elderly who suffer a head injury. And that was found by Columbia University. Accidental falls doubled an older person's odds of dementia 5 years later in another study. So you should really try to get your elderly parents to make sure they don't fall. Wear your seatbelts and helmets, fall-proof your house, and don't take risks. That's the advice. So I have some others here. Meditate is one. Take vitamin D is another. Fill your brain. It's called cognitive reserve, a rich accumulation of life experiences, education, marriage, socialization, and stimulating job. Language skills, having a purpose in life. You have to get up. That's why I don't like retirement, because you just get up and you have nothing to do. You need to have something to do. Something, anything. Physical activity and mentally demanding leisure activities makes your brain better able to tolerate plaque and tangles. You can even have significant Alzheimer's pathology and no symptoms of dementia if you have high cognitive reserve. And that, of course, is said by David Bennett, MD of Chicago's Rush University Medical Center. The next one, which is number 10, is avoid infection. A lot of us go through that problem. I'm going to have to read those in detail for you another day because my time is almost up. And what to drink for good memory. A great way to keep your aging memory sharp and avoid Alzheimer's is to drink the right stuff. And the right stuff is a top juice. A glass of any fruit or vegetable juice 3 times a week slaps Alzheimer's odds to 76% in a Vanderbilt University study. Especially protective blueberry, grape, and apple juice. So blueberry juice, apple juice, and grape juice. So you might want to check that out. Of course, there's tea, caffeine beverages, red wine. Try to avoid sugary soft drinks. And there's 5 ways to save your kids from Alzheimer's. I have to give you that in detail. I don't want to just rush through it. So I will do that another day as we take our time to get out of here right now because the time is up. Yeah, my time is up anyway. Things to do, places to go, and people to see, emails to check, and all that kind of good stuff. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Turkey, you know, that sweet potato thing with the marshmallows on top and the raisins and the cinnamon. How about mashed potatoes with lots of butter? And then you might have some ham or turkey. Some people like to have lamb shanks, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie. Whoa, my goodness, there's so much food. Some people bake chickens. And of course, if you're vegan, you have something they're calling what? It's a veggie kind of turkey. Turkey or something like that. Made from tofu. Yeah, they do have that. There's another thing that we need to talk about here too, is polygamy, or whatever it's called, where people are living in threesomes, 2 women and 1 guy. Are we so sexed up that we really need to do that? And would you share your husband with another woman who's younger than you are? How does that work? And yes, it's happening in the United States, all over the country. They're keeping it quiet. That one is shocking. Polyamory. That's, yeah, something to give you food for thought today as you ponder your turkey and your ham and your smoked turkey, and your mashed potatoes and your sweet potato pie and your cranberries. Just think about that. Would you be willing to share your husband with a younger woman that he's found and bring into the household? With small children, no doubt. I wonder how they explain that when the children get a little older and start asking, who is she? How did they polymarry? Woo, what? Wow. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the Diana White Show Live. I guess our guest just kind of maybe overslept or something. Not so sure about that. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. I hope, I think. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't come back tomorrow. Just to let you know, if I do, it's Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn. So have a great day, have a blessed day, and be safe, especially if you're in the places where the weather is just horrible. Be careful and be blessed. And don't forget the magic words. I love me. I think it would save a lot of us if we do that, if we love ourselves. Take care. Have a super day.